This is recorded on February 22nd, and this is for the March 2026 tarot predictive reading. Just as a recap for those who are just watching this video or this series for the first time, I highly suggest that you go back and watch the videos for the months prior because everything ties in together beautifully, I think. Just as a quick recap, that I pulled these cards in early January. I pulled 12 cards and then I pulled a 13th card for the overarching theme. So the overarching theme was a card that required us to take quick action. It required us to be very aware of the news and that there will be an opportunity. There will be some information that comes out that will give us the opportunity to strike while the iron is hot. And like I said in the first video, this reading felt very much like a global sort of reading. So it's not necessarily just for you individually or the human collective. Um, and in January, the card was find the truth, do your research, declare your position, and be bold in that position. February card was very similar in a sense, but it was us feeling enslaved, feeling oppressed. It was the devil card and being unaware. So the overarching card was telling us to be aware. And in February, we were told that we are still unaware. Now I'm going to move into March's card, which is the Judgment card. So again, this feels very, very appropriate, doesn't it? Right now, with the way things are going, we're starting to see some judgment happening for the wrongs of this earth. We're seeing some arrests being made. We're seeing people standing up to the evils of the world, and we're starting to see some actual action being taken by higher ups, and that's because the regular people of this planet have spoken up, and that's what these cards were telling us for January and February. And now we're starting to see some judgment. However, we need to be careful, okay, because I've pulled the cards, I kind of know where the cards are going. So that just because this is starting to happen now, we can't be complacent. All right. We need to make sure that we continue the good fight, basically. March, it says Day of Reckoning. I just want to interrupt here. I'm just coming out of a health episode from November. Until recently, I had a fibromyalgia flare, and I wasn't feeling very good because of that. And then, as soon as my fibro flare started tapering off, which I feel like I'm coming out of that pretty good right now, I moved into an asthma flare. so, so anyway, but I'm coming out of that as well. So if I cough every now and then, I'm really sorry, but I just have the time to do it today, and I don't know if I'm going to have the time to do this video before March 1st. So I'm like, people are just going to have to deal with my raspy voice and my coughing. So it says Judgment, Day of Reckoning, separating the wheat from the chaff, honest appraisal, getting off the fence. That has been a theme for the last four cards: the overarching card, January, February, and now March. Okay. Getting off the fence. I think this is what these cards are so strongly saying at the beginning of this reading is we need to pick a position, make your position known. Just recently, I did a reel on my Instagram where I declared myself a witch, a leftist, a feminist, and I haven't done that before because I was always being someone that could see the truths in both sides, but now it's gotten to the point where I said, I have to make my position, I have to choose my position and make it known. And these cards are really saying that for us to do globally. Now, some could argue that would create division, but when you sit in the middle and say nothing, you're just contributing to the division, I believe. So if I would like to see the good side, in my opinion, I have the what my beliefs are the good side, to have people declare the position louder and stronger, so that we have the numbers and we have the voice and we have the noise. The squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? That's just the way it goes. The other thing, it says taking a stand, which is what I just said. Hard choices. So picking your stand is a hard choice. Transforming, inner calling, inner conviction, deciding to make a difference, new direction, forgiving self and others, and knowing what to do. I think that this all ties in, like I was just saying, that inner conviction, that inner calling. It was my calling to do a video, to put it out there that this is where I stand. And I was like, if I lose followers, whatever. However, I gained a lot of followers lately. And that's not, I don't put a lot of stock in that, because people are fickle and they'll follow you for one little thing that you post and then they'll unfollow you later. So, whatever. But what I'm seeing is, when I took my stand and I declared myself, I feel like the universe stood behind me and made things more available, gave me more of a voice. I really feel the magic and the power behind making your stand. Deciding to make a difference, that's another thing that I have done personally, is that in making that decision, I am now accountable in that decision and making my declaration of where I stand. I am now more accountable. So now I feel that push to make a difference. You get a certain energetic momentum, don't you? When you decide something, the universe can get behind you. If you can't decide something, the universe can't help you push through, can't help you open up opportunities. So now that I've done that, I'm feeling those opportunities for me to make a difference, to have a louder voice, has opened up for me. New direction. We have to always be open to new directions. Somebody might come along one day and say, you know what? This argument from a different perspective um, actually makes sense. So we need to be open to going a different direction. But we have to be careful of that, because we need to really, like the previous cards said, do research. So just because an argument sounds good on a surface, or it sounds truthful, do your research, because now it's so hard to discern what's true and what's not, especially if you're relying on social media or the internet. Like, you have to do your research. Forgiving self and others. I find that an interesting card in the judgment card, because we do tend to judge other people, right? And sometimes it's warranted to judge other people. I don't care what people say, don't judge others. Sometimes it's warranted. But don't judge people blindly just because of, or on the surface, just because, surfacely they look some way, or they said something that may have been completely out of character. Um, sometimes we need to learn to forgive ourselves and others. In my case, I'm forgiving myself for having sort of sat on the fence for such a long time. And you know what? The world wasn't in a place, well, no, I'll take that back. It wasn't quite as in your face the way the world was. It was always this way. The world has always been good versus evil. It's always been divided. It's always been you versus us. But I feel like back when I was sort of in the middle, it was almost okay to be there because to me it felt like it was a place of fairness. But now I feel like that's not the case anymore. And I felt guilty about being in the middle for most of my life. Um, I felt a sense of guilt that, oh my god, like I've just kind of contributed to the shit that we're in. But now it's I forgive myself for that because things are different now. Things change so fast. It's just the way it is right now. So I've forgiven myself. I'm hoping down the road when people see the truth, or when they realize that they've made a mistake one way or the other, and they truly deeply apologize for the hurt that they've done, that we can forgive them. You were able to admit that you made a mistake. Just like I'm saying, I feel like I've made mistakes in the past that put me in a place of silence, complacent, and complicit. We have to get to a place of forgiveness at some point. I don't know when that is, but right now we need to work through things and fight for the right things. Just looking too at the card, we've got a long fight ahead of us. This card does not mean that we've reached the pinnacle of, oh yes, things are being judged properly now by the people in power or whatever. No, we're nowhere near that. That's judgment. And the next reading for April is actually going to be on my birthday. I'm an April Fool's birthday. Just stay tuned. These all come together really interestingly. It's an up and down reading, and this is probably one of the more positive cards so far. And but more to come. Okay, so thank you for watching, and we'll see you next month. Bye.